Hey students, we are on lesson 6-4, divide by a 2-digit divisor. Here's your learning goal, you can read it with me. I can divide decimals by a 2-digit number. Here's our solve and share. Stand as a rectangular piece of carpet with an area of 23 and 4/10 meters. The piece of carpet is 13 meters long. What is the width of the carpet? So remember, area equals length times width. We have our area, 23 and 4/10 equals our 13 times W. So what I need to do here is the opposite of multiplication. So normally when you multiply your two dimensions, you get your area, but I already have my area. So I need to do 23 and 4/10 and divide it by 13. So go ahead and pause here, give that a try. Okay, our first step is to put our decimal up top, and I'm putting 13. I can, standard method, just put 13 into 2. No, won't fit. 13 into 23, well, yes, but how many times? So if I take 13 times 2, I'm going to double it. I'll have 26. That's too big, so I just got to do my 1 there. So 13 times 1 is 13. I subtract, and we get 10. Is 10 less than 13? Yes, it is. So now I need to put 13 into 104. Now, if I think this is about 15 into about 100, well, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, is that right? Yeah, 75, that's 5 times, and then 90 would be 6 times, and then it wouldn't go in again if I'm doing about 100. So I'm using a little bit of estimation there to see how many times. So let's try 13 times 6. 3 times 6 is 18. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 more is 7. So that is not quite enough. So let's try 13 times, honestly, I think we could go up to 8. So 8 times 3, and it's because I rounded this up a little, not down a little, so it skewed my estimation, but that's okay. So I know 78, that's a lot lower. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 2 more is 10. 104, there we go. So our 8 comes up here, our 104 goes down below, and we zero it out. So 1 8/10 is our width. Alrighty, let's go ahead and practice through. We're gonna read through our visual learning bridge, and then we will practice a problem or two. And I might just go back to that other slide actually and practice it for room. Erin's garden has an area of 84 and 8/10 square feet. She knows the length is 16 feet. What is the width of Erin's garden? How can you solve 84 and 8/10 divided by 16 equals W? Well, we can use what we know about dividing whole numbers to help. And we just talked through how to divide with area. So I'm gonna have to take my 84 and 8/10 and divide it by my one dimension, 16. So here they have their 84 and 8/10 and they're putting 16 into it. And this looks a little bit more like our hybrid or partial products method. And so they have done 16 goes into 84. Looks like they have they're doing 5 times. So you might have a 0 there if you like to stack your numbers up. And 16 times 5 is 80. So they're subtracting that and they have 4 and 8/10. So now I'm putting it into 4 and 8/10. Well, how many times would 16 go into 4 and 8/10? And they're saying 3 times, and really it's 3/10 because of our numbers getting smaller, right? It's going from 16 to 4. So if you multiply by a number less than 1, then our answer gets smaller. So then 16 times 3/10 would be 4 and 8/10. And when we subtract that, you get 0. The standard method is pretty similar when we work through this. 84 and 8/10 divided by 16. I like it a little bit better because you don't have to think and keep paying attention to where that decimal is. You can sort of set it and forget it. So as soon as you move it up, you're going to do the same math. It just seems a little bit easier in my brain. So 16 goes into 8. Nope. 16 goes into 84. Well, we know from over here it goes in 5 times. 16 times 5 is 80. When I subtract, I get 4. Bring down my 8. Okay. Well, how many times does 16 go into 48? And again, you would have to do the work behind it, but we know it's 3 times from what they got over there. So like I did, 16 times 3, we get 48. So my 3 comes up here. And so really it's 3/10 in our answer, but we don't have to think about it like our 4 8/10 it over here. And it just zeroes out. So we still get 5 3/10, but again, I think that standard way where you can just set it and kind of forget it and makes it a little bit easier. Okay, I'm gonna actually go back to the last slide so we can just practice through some problems, and I have a little bit more space to do it here. So we're gonna do number 3. It's 306 25/100 divided by 49. So I'm going to show this just the standard method, how I would work through it. Sorry. Okay, so will 49 go into 3? No, it won't. Will 49 go into 30? No, it won't. So now we're putting 49 into 306. Well, this is about 50, and I know 50 and 50 is 100. So 4 50s would be 200. 6 50s would be 300. So I might be able to get 49 times 6, and I used a little bit of estimation there. So 6 times 9 is 54. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 5 is 29. So we are gonna have, it'll go in 6 times, and we get 294. Now I can subtract. So 6 take away 4 is 2. I cannot do 0 take away 9. I have to regroup. I see people getting lazy right about now and not regrouping. So we got a 10 take away 9 is 1, so we have 12. Is 12 less than 49? Yes, it is. We're good to bring down our next number. So we have 122. I know 50 and 50 is 100, so 49 is really close to that. So it's probably going to be 49 times 2, or you could do 50 and 50 is 100, take away 2 at the end, and we'll get 98. So 2 times 9, 18. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 more, 9, and 98. So remember, oops, I forgot to transfer it. Remember, set it and forget it, put it up there. So it goes in 2 times, we get 98. Well, I know 122 take away 100 would be 22. So take away 2 less than that would be 20, but we can just work through it. So we've got, oh, no, we're gonna have a different, that's fine. Okay, so I need to borrow. 2 becomes 1. This is a 12. 12 take away 8 is 4. I forgot to add it back in at the end. I did it the wrong way. And then 12 take away, or 1 take away 9. That doesn't work. So cross out this 1, get a 0. This is 11 if we're just borrowing. 11 take away 9 would be 24. And I had said 20, but I should have had 22 and then added 2 more to it because we took away an extra 2. Okie dokie, so we get 24. And is that less than 49? Yes. Now I bring down my 5. So 49 goes into 245. We got to see how many times. Well, I know it's going to go into 204 times because we're doing about 50. So we could try 5 times and see how we do. 49 times 5. 9 times 5 is 45. 4 times 5 is 20. Plus 4, 24. 245, we got it right on the nose. And so we put our 5 up here, our 245 down below, and it subtracts out. Okay, let's try maybe one more problem, and then I'll give you one to do down below. So we have 28 5/10 divided by 15. So 28 5/10 divided by 15, correct? Yeah. So 15 will not go into 2. It's not going to go into 20. Oh, wait, yes, it will. Who am I talking about? 15 will go into 28, but only one time. If I list out my 15, 30. So it only goes in one time. I need to make sure I get my decimal up here. Remember, set it and forget it. And it's going to go in once. We put our 15. And when I subtract 8, take away 5, I get 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. So is 13 less than 15? Yes. So we're good to bring down our 5. So now I can think, okay, I have 15 going into 135. And so I need to see about how many times it would do that. If I can keep listing out my multiples, I can get a guesstimate, remember, with our cover up, or think like, okay, this is about 20 into about 140. Well, 20 would go into 100 5 times, and then maybe 2 more times on top of that. So we could try 15 times 7. And it might be too high. And if so, we just work our way down. So 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 3 more, 8, 9, 10, 105. So I'm too low, and it's because I rounded up to 20. So I need to go 15 times, honestly, I think it's going to be 9, because 105, there's more than just one jump between there. So 45, and I knew if I multiplied my 9 times my 5, I'd get a 5 right here, and that's kind of what I'm aiming for. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 4 more is 13. There we go. So it goes in 9 times, we get our 135. I subtract, and it zeroes out. So our answer is 1 9/10, because I didn't forget to put that decimal up there. Okay, go ahead and try to work through. Let's do our 78 2/10 divided by 17. So you are going to try to do 78 2/10 divided by 17, and we'll talk about it in group. Alrighty.